The Simpsons was my shit as a kid. I seriously loved it and I still do. I told myself months ago that I wanted to review a Simpsons game this year, but holy shit, where would I even start? With this one? No. Oh well, I guess we'll go with the Simpsons' sister show, Futurama. But let's see, which Futurama game should I play? Damn, why are there so many of these things? Well shit, I can't decide, so we'll go with the one that I happen to own, Futurama the game. They should have called it Futurama the only fucking game. Tell me something, of all the Simpsons related video games, why didn't Futurama get the same treatment? It's essentially the same show, arguably with more possibilities for video game spin-offs. Oh well, I guess it's better to have one great game than a fucking mess of varying titles. I've been playing this game for a long time now, but unlike most of the games from my youth that I've made videos about, this is one of the only games that I've never actually beaten. So as you could probably imagine, I'm really keen to get into this. First impressions are everything in my opinion, and right off the bat, it feels like Futurama. The art style, music, and writing are all amazing. The cel-shaded graphics give it that animated cartoon look, and it retains the same sense of humour that made me fall in love with the show. The story sees the Professor sell Planet Express to Mum. This means that she officially owns over 50% of the Earth, turning it into a giant Death Star. Hey, that's me! She starts obliterating other planets to try and take over the universe, so it's up to us to save New York and the rest of the galaxy at whatever cost. The crew run to the ship, well, some of them do, only to find that the ship is... well... I mean, that'll probably buff out. So in all of the madness, it's Fry's job to...
find a hammer. Yes, sir.
Find a hammer. There are maniacal death bots knocking on our door and you think you can fix this thing with a fucking hammer? Okay. Okay, I found your stupid hammer. Now can I get... Oh shit! Look out, Fry! Fry? Fry! So it turns out that the Professor has built a machine that tries to explain video game logic. If you die, it brings you back to life. Figure that out. I actually love the self-awareness of these types of games. More games need to do this. Explain how the character is coming back to life. Imagine if you were shot in Call of Duty, evacuated to a medical facility and given time to go and visit your family, only to be picked up by your superior officer and dropped right back into the middle of the same battlefield because you need to finish what you started, soldier, only to get obliterated within the first 30 seconds, earning the opposing force a fucking attack helicopter that destroys the rest of your allies, requiring the battle to stop so that you can be shipped out to bury the dead. What the fuck am I talking about?
What is this, some kind of tutorial?
This game is going for the cruisy approach by giving you some free time to mess about and get used to the controls. Fry gets to explore Planet Express looking for the rest of the Professor's tools. It's really cool exploring this place, in the same way that it's cool exploring Springfield in The Simpsons Hit and Run, running around finding a heap of references to the show. This game is a linear third-person action game and we get to play as Fry, Bender and Leela. Fry's gameplay reminds me of Max Payne, running through the sewers, subways and streets of old and new New York, using various guns to dispose of enemies. Second level in and already the gameplay and music is absolutely stellar, but unfortunately not every level has kick-ass music, instead opting for the more atmospheric ambient stuff that is sometimes non-existent. One thing that always bothered me as a kid is the length of the levels. I used to think they were really long, but playing this game today, they're not nearly as bad as I remember. Even the abandoned subway isn't as scary, and the gunfights are much easier. While they don't offer much in terms of strategy, they're still fun, unlike this on-rail shooter section. There is so much shit blocking the screen that I can barely see what I'm doing. It's pretty crappy. Then we switch up and start playing as Bender. Bender's gameplay takes place on an asteroid in desert and mining environments. His gameplay obviously reminds me of Crash Bandicoot. The spin attack, running from boulders, collecting pink crystals, and of course, the platforming. All of the characters have to deal with excessive amounts of pretty generic platforming, but I really hate these parts as I don't have faith that I can make each jump because of the wonky controls. While not the worst for this sort of thing, this game wasn't designed to be a platformer, the same way Harvest Moon wasn't designed to be Grand Theft fucking Auto. And finally we have Leela's levels, which take place on the sun. The easiest way to explain these levels is to take a look at my top 10 most hated levels video. They suck. Every level sees a heap of shitty combat and puzzle solving. Puzzle solving? Now that's a generous way of explaining it. We even get to play as Zoidberg, again reminding me of the Bandicoot, except this is just miserable. The level is essentially every shitty obstacle you could imagine spewed all over this swamp without any rhyme or reason, making it uncomfortable to navigate. Out of each of the different gameplay styles, Fry is certainly my favourite. While the constant firefights aren't all that interesting, at least there is some variety in the locations of the levels and the challenge of maintaining ammo. I'll be honest, I'm finding it hard trying to gather my thoughts on this game. I'm really enjoying playing through it again, but that's nostalgia, so I get rid of that and I can still see a fun game, but it's pretty basic and there are a lot of minor issues here that start to add up. Like I mentioned before, the platforming is pretty mediocre and not very fun. I think part of that has to do with the camera. It's a pain in the ass and it has this weird delay when trying to move it, which is really annoying, especially when I'm getting my ass shot to shit and I can't see why. Along with that, the game can feel really uninspired at points. Generic desert level, generic mine level, generic turret boss, generic subway level, generic sewer level, and a generic holy what in the fuck is that level? The variety and creativity in enemies is also lacking, and as original as a fucking kamikaze skeleton that obliterates your health bar is, it's still a skeleton. And that's all Leela's levels offer, 3 to 4 different bony bastards. Bender spends most of his time fighting off bland rock monsters, space lizards, and kinky cacti. But again, this is why the Fry levels are far superior. We've got sewer mutants, the inhabitants of Old New York, mafia robots of New New York, and the death bots. And no, that's not 4 different enemies, it's 4 different enemy species, each with a bunch of different variants. I think that's my biggest problem with this game. It just ends up feeling really repetitive. They used up all of the cool Futurama assets and ideas in the first few levels, and then designed the rest of the game out of what every other game has already done to death. It almost makes me wonder if a Simpsons hit and run style would have been the better option here, maybe mixed in with some of the combat gameplay as well. Because then, instead of having a linear generic game, you could have an open world style where you could drive around in hover cars, explore the various locations, and then jump in the ship to travel elsewhere and shoot shit. That'd be fucking great. Or how about no, instead you get this in its place, a game that barely provides 5 hours of gameplay, if that. So as we get through the story, you start to notice some things. Travelling to the sun, the ship gets all burned up. Then travelling to the farthest corner of the universe, we meet a Doi who just so happened to invent a time machine, explaining any extra attempts at this timed bullshit fuckness, as well as how the ship got fucked up in the first place. The crew go back in time to before the professor sold Planet Express to Mum. They get locked in a torture chamber with a giant robot, and now it's time for the main event. Starting off with Bender, we get attacked by Destructor, do a pretty easy number puzzle, and then take part in what has to be the shittiest combat gauntlet in video game history. Seriously, it's absolutely fucking miserable. Then we switch to Leela, and this is where my save from when I was a kid is at. The only difference is the amount of lives. As you can see, I'm much better at the game these days, so I'm totally prepared. We go through this shit and get to another number puzzle. Okay, it's clearly a pattern of some sort. It's obvious that the last spot is 8, but what about the middle spots? Maybe it's 1 and 1 because it's going in halves? Sucks to be you, kid. You just wasted a life, asshole. I sat here for 20 minutes trying every combination I could think of. Just look at how many times I died. I started this level with 27 lives and I lost pretty much all of them on this bloody puzzle. No wonder I could never do this as a kid. I'd lose all of my lives and get sick of doing all of this again. I could easily just look up a walkthrough. No, I'm not doing it like that. I can do this. Okay, I figured it out. I guess that was kind of obvious, but it doesn't matter now because I've got a barrage of fucking death hallways blended together with what has to be some of the worst lag in video game history. Oh my god, just look at this! Jesus Christ, this is atrocious! It's unfucking playable because I need to dodge these laser barriers. Oh, the fucking lag! I didn't even hate this game up until now. This whole part is about getting keycards, going into rooms to hit switches, and find other keycards to get through. There is very little health power-ups and no collectibles to earn extra lives. Perhaps now that I know the code for that door, I should reload my save and get through with all of my lives, but no, I'm too fucking stubborn for that. Although I'm fucking considering it now that I have to platform with this fucking lag. Okay, I did it, and it only cost me 24 of my 27 lives, but that's okay, because I'm up to the final level, and it's a fry level, so it's just going to be some gun combat. Oh god, more of this keycard shit. They've clearly run out of ideas. And now, let's see what's behind door number 3. Oh, are you trying to piss me off? Because it's fucking working. Okay, I need to do this to get the gun. It looks like a pattern. 1 1 2 2 4 4 something something 6 6. No, that was incorrect. And again, I tried and tried. This time getting game overs and reloading the level. This is when I really considered doing Leela's levels again, but be absolutely fucked if I feel like dealing with all of those lasers again. Let's just keep going. I can live with my mistake and I can beat this fucking game. Oh, so there is a fucking pattern until the second last digit that likes to be a hipster fucking douchebag changes it up, officially confirming that these puzzles are cheaper than a $3 whore! Okay, I've got the gun, so now it's time to do the rest of this shit. I can't do this anymore. And the other ones start off with a pattern to give you a sliver of fucking hope. But this is just cruel. I can't go through this again. I need a walkthrough, but I don't want to do it like that. I can't do it like that. What am I supposed to do? This is fucking destroying me. I can beat this fucking game, and I will beat this fucking game, without a walkthrough or a guide or any help from anyone.
Son of a...
Oh, fuck it. It was 9816. Those 4 numbers just ruined the last 12 years of my fucking life. Great. These final levels are fucking worthless because aside from these ridiculously ridiculous puzzles, they're a cinch. No trouble whatsoever. It takes all of 2 or 3 minutes before I'm at the final boss, where all you need to do is shoot the shit out of him, like all of the other bosses that don't have health bars. God damn, that really shits me. He's destroyed, the reanimator is destroyed, the crew are killed, and the stupid old fuck signs the deal anyway because, hey, time travel! I like the part where I had to use a fucking walkthrough to beat this game because some game designer felt like being a fucking cunt. This game is seriously okay, and that's it. It's generic, uninspired, and while it's still fun to play at some points, it's lacking on so many levels. It doesn't even have the full cast of characters. Where is Amy, Zap Brannigan, Kif, any number of these presidential heads, or any of these other fucking people? The only thing left to do now is collect all of the nibblers to unlock the same shit that you've already seen. Pathetic. Futurama, the only fucking game, gets 5 out of 10. No, I don't hate this game. I hate that this game was designed in such a piss poor effort that basic game design lore and cool Futurama exclusive assets were thrown out of the window. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share. I'm Square Eye Jack, and have a great fucking day. Thanks for watching.